गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gandharvika Giridhari Gaure Hari. O Gandharvika Giridhari Gaure Hari. Jai ho Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai ho Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai ho Prabhupada. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरे कृष्णा. So, as I think most of you are coming daily in the class, just wanted to know, like, first day, okay. What about Mataji's side? Matajis are coming almost daily. Second time, okay. So, like before we start, I just wanted to give a little bit of, because today we are starting shloka number 25. We'll just, I've got opportunity given by my seniors to speak on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, shloka number 25. So, just as
programs used to operate computers and execute specific tasks. It is the opposite of hardware, which describes the physical aspects of a computer.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtiprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavasevya Bhagavatiruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Is it visible to all? So before we start, just wanted to give a little bit of summary what, like, how and the chapter 1 is about. Chapter 1 is about observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And till now, like those who were not present, just want to give a little bit of summary, like till 1.24 what has been discussed. So this is the sequence of events till now. So in the first shloka starts with, like, as you all know, Dhritarashtra speaks and asked to Sanjaya that after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage of Kurukshetra desiring to fight, what did they do? Dharmishetri Kurukshetri Samvetayusa Mamaka Pandavasya Kim Akaruta Sanjaya. So that was Bhagavad Gita 1.1. And then in the, from Bhagavad Gita shloka number 1.2 to 9, Duryodhana went to his guru, and while seeing the armed formation, he started giving information about all the great warriors ready to fight from Pandavas and his own side respectively. And then Duryodhana, what he is doing, he is comparing the strength. he is comparing the strength of both the armies and try to convince his guru that his side will be, only his side will win, right? So that way, because somewhere he is having some kind of, some fear is there, because he was wrong, he knew that I am wrong, but he is just trying to convince himself as well by saying these words to his guru, that our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. So till shloka number 10, this is the sequence, and then he instructed all the great fighters of his side to give full support to Bhishma, who was the first general of his army. And then the blowing of the conch shell started. So from both sides, starting from the Bhishma. So Bhishma initiated the first conch shell, and then the names were given, like which conch shell was blown by Lord. So Panchajanya is a conch shell blown by Lord, and similarly other transcendental conch shells were blown by different great warriors or charioteers from both sides respectively. It was, what was the motive behind the, earlier times, in the earlier days, what was the motive behind, blowing these conch shells and trumpets? That we are ready to fight. We are assembled here, and now we are ready to fight. So at that time, the climax came, like Arjuna was ready to fight, and he was also just, he was ready to put arrow on the bow, and immediately, suddenly what happened to him? He suddenly stopped and requested Lord Krishna to take the chariot between the two armies. So he wanted to see who all are there to fight for the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, who is, at their side, on the wrong side, who is there on the wrong side. So this all happened from Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, shloka number 20 till 23. So now, just prior, like we are discussing today shloka number 25, but prior to that, in shloka number 24, Sanjay spoke, and he is actually explaining it all to Dhritarashtra. He is not there in the battlefield, but he has given some science was there, I think, where he was able to see the whole battlefield, that what is happening there. And because Dhritarashtra was blind, so he wanted to know. He was also curious that my sons only should be, in the end they will be winning. So there was lot of anxiousness, anxiety was there. So he was given some power, some transcendental, power by Vedavyas. So Srila Vedavyas given some energy or some, special power to Sanjay, so that he can see what is happening in the battlefield. So he was, since beginning, since from the very first shloka, Sanjay is on explaining all this, that what is happening in the as of now. And every time Dhritarashtra becomes more anxious, that he wanted to know more and more. Now whether the war is starting or not, it should start. He was actually very much eager to, let the, battle start, and then my side will be winning. So that way, now Sanjay, is explaining to Dhritarashtra, and he is saying that, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties and spoke as follows. So this was the sequence in just prior shloka, which is 24. Because in 23, he was requesting, Arjuna requested to Lord Krishna that, please Madhav, Achyut, hey Achyut, can you just take my chariot in the midst of the two armies? So in 24, Sanjay said that, O descendant of Bharata means he is saying Bharata to Dhritarashtra, because they all were Bharatvanshis, because Bharata was from the Kuru dynasty, and all Pandavas and Kauravas both are from the Kuru dynasty. So he is actually mentioning Dhritarashtra as a, O descendant of Bharata. So having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties and spoke as follows. So this is up to chapter 1, shloka number 24. Now we are going to the shloka which we are going to discuss. So you just repeat with me. Bhishma Drona Pramukta Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyatam Samavetan Kuruniti. Bhishma Drona Pramukta Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyatam Samavetan Kuruniti. Bhishma Drona Pramukta Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyatam Samavetan Kuruniti. Anyone from the audience? 1, 2, read. Bhishma Drona Pramukta Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyatam Samavetan Kuruniti. Bhishma Drona Pramukta Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyatam Samavetan Kuruniti. So now word by word meaning. Bhishma, grandfather Bhishma. Please repeat with me. Bhishma, grandfather Bhishma. Drona, the teacher Drona. Pramuktaha, in front of. Sarvesham, all. Cha, also. Mahikshitam, chiefs of the world. Uvacha, said. Partha, O son of Pratha. Pashya, just behold. Etan, all of them. Samavetan, assembled. Kurun, the members of the Kuru dynasty. Iti, thus. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Sri Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. Please repeat the translation. Now the purport. As the super soul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going on in the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Hrishikesha in this connection indicates that he knew everything. And the word Partha, meaning the son of Pratha or Kunti, is also similarly significant in reference to Arjuna. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjuna that because Arjuna was the son of Pratha, the sister of his own father Vasudeva, he had agreed to be the charioteer of Arjuna. Now, what did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such thing from the son of his aunt Pratha. The mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in friendly joking. Just offering prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakhya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahajana Raghunatham Tam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं राधा श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्विताश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now we'll just go back to the translation. So in the shloka, if you see Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarvesham cha Mahikshyatam Uvacha Partha Pashyatan Samavetan Kuruniti. So what is the translation says? In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all other chieftains of the world, Lord said, just behold Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. So why Lord is saying, why specifically? There were so many chieftains, right? It is mentioned here as well, that lot of people were there, all the great warriors were there. But although Lord didn't directly set the name of these two, Bhishma and Drona, then it is because Sanjay is telling to Dhritarashtra, so he is specifically taking the name of Bhishma and Drona. Why is that? So this is important to know. So we'll discuss. So these are some important words and questions to think over from this particular shloka. So we'd like to go one by one, and we'll understand from our whatever is mentioned in the scriptures and being told by our seniors. So Bhishma and Drona. So what does the reference to Bhishma and Drona suggest here? Because there were so many other warriors as well. So why specifically name of Bhishma and Drona came here? What does it suggest? Because these two were very dear to Arjuna. We know, right? We all know. These two were very dear to Arjuna. Arjuna was the most, adorable and most lovable, grandson for Pitama Bhishma, and also of his guru Dronacharya. So he was the best student. So that is the reason these two names are being suggested here. And there is one more word comes here, which is Partha. So why Lord is calling Arjuna as Partha here? He could have said Arjuna as well, right? So any guess? Any?
He is son of Yuva's son.
Yeah, correct. So, but her name is Kunti. Then why Pratha?
Pratha is a lineage of that.
So, like as scriptures told us that this was actually, she is the sister of Lord's father, Vasudeva. So Vasudeva and Kunti both were Vasudeva and Pratha. Pratha is the original name. So Vasudeva and Pratha were the brother and sister, and they were siblings, and they were daughter and son of Shursena. So Shursena's siblings were these. Shursena's son and daughter were Vasudeva and Pratha. So, but what happened? Vasudeva, Shursena's sister's son was Kunti Bhoj, and that Kunti Bhoj was not having any progeny. So, out of to build the relation, or this Shursena actually offered this daughter Kunti. Her name was Pratha. He offered it to Kunti Bhoja. So that way her name became Kunti. So Here onwards, her name was Kunti. So that's the reason. But by calling Arjuna as Parth, Lord want to tell him the about his lineage. Like you are coming from such a great lineage. Yeah? Your mother is Kunti, and your mother is Pratha. So you are Pratha, and she is coming from uh, such a great family. So that way, Lord is calling Arjuna as Partha here, and we'll discuss it later. That why Lord specifically said just this is the reason that why Arjuna is being called as Partha, because he is the son of Pratha. But why specifically Partha was mentioned here, we'll discuss it further. Then next word comes at Rishikesha. So if you go to the purport, it is Prabhupada tells us in the purport, as the super soul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going in the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Rishikesha in this connection indicates that he knew everything. So Rishikesha is being used because as one of the name of Lord. But what it signifies? Rishikesha means who is the controller or director of mind and intelligence. The exact meaning of Rishikesh is the controller and director of mind and senses. So that is the reason he is being told as Rishikesha, because he knew everything. What is going to happen, what is in the mind of Arjuna, he knew everything. Lord was knowing everything. What is going to happen. So this is the reason where he is being called as Rishikesha in this particular shloka. Then there are a few other questions, so we will discuss as of now about these two aspects. First, like Partha and Rishikesha. So as I said that Bhishma and Drona both are very dear to Arjuna, and when Arjuna came to fight here, all these were Kshatriyas. So at that time, when everything is said, battlefield is said, what suddenly happened to Arjuna? That he stopped the war. He stopped, immediately and asked Lord to come to take the chariot in between the two armies, and he dropped his, actually arrow and bow and arrow. What happened to him? Although he was always near to Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So what happened? Why Arjuna, the friend of Supreme Personality of Godhead, is showing the sign of weakness here? This is also to be, questioned. And later we'll see that would Arjuna have been better off without going into the middle of these two armies? If he would have not gone there, he would have not fought like that he fought later on, right? Because when he went into the midst of these two armies, he's been allowed by Lord, because he is being termed as Rishikesh, he's been called as Rishikesha here. And the word Rishikesh is very, very prominent and very, very important to understand. So, although Lord is staying in Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, but simultaneously he is present in each and everybody's heart as well, in the form of Paramatma. So in the form of Paramatma, he is sitting there in each and every atom and in each and every living entity's heart, and he knows everything, what we think, what we are going to work, what we are going to act on. So that's the reason he is Rishikesha in the form of Paramatma. He is sitting in everybody's heart, and he is the controller and director of our senses and our mind. Because whenever we see somebody from outward, we cannot see the subtle things, we just see the senses, right? If I see a person or you see a person, what you see? You see just, eyes, nose, ears, right? His face and body, and like there are 10 senses basically. So these are 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses. So these senses are there, but there is something which is subtle behind that, which controls the senses. So what is that? This is who controls the senses? Mind. So mind controls the senses. And who controls the minds? Who is the director of mind?
Intelligence.
Intelligence, correct. And then who is controlling the intelligence? Who is the owner of intelligence? Soul. Soul is the owner of intelligence. But from where this intelligence is coming? Because you can see you are having a different set of intelligence, I am having a different set of intelligence, somebody is having very high level of intelligence, somebody is having very low level of intelligence, IQ is different. So why is the variation? From where it is coming from? Who is controlling this? So this is being controlled by Paramatma, because he is sitting in the form of Paramatma in everybody's heart. And he is Rishikesha, he is the own director and controller of all these senses and mind. That's the reason he is being told as Rishikesha. Rishi means senses and Kesha means the controller. So controller of the senses and mind is Rishikesha. And it is like we have to understand that Lord is not like us. He is Satchidananda Vigraha. It is, we can understand from the scriptures, we can understand from our Guru, and the three methods, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So what they tell us is that Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is not made up of five elements like us. There is no differences in his soul and body. He is all made up of Satchidananda, Satchit and Ananda. And he is there simultaneously in the Goloka Vrindavan as well as in everybody's heart as well. So that is quite inconceivable might be for us, but we can see that actually why everything in this world is working in so nicely, right? You can see the planets, they are not, wavering from their orbit. You can see that distance is being maintained from billions of years. So many, we cannot even hang a small ball in the air like that, but so many big planets and stars and moons, everything is just floating in the space and without any deviation from their path. So why it is like, who is controlling that? Scientists say that is a gravitational force, which is actually allowing these planets to be maintained on orbit. But who is behind that gravitational force? How is that happening? So this is because the Lord is there in each and every atom. In the whole creation, from the spiritual world to material world, He is everywhere in the form of Paramatma, and He is controlling all these things. Because of His energy, this is being controlled. So that is why He is being specifically called as Rishikesha, because He is controlling the senses and mind of Arjuna as well here. Right? He is sitting in everybody's heart. So in the battlefield also, he is the controller and director of the senses and mind of Arjuna. That is the reason specifically he is being called as Rishikesha, but not as other name. There are innumerable names of Lord Krishna, right? So he would have said Govinda, he would have said other names, Madhava, Keshava, but he is being told Rishikesha due to this specific reason, to let all us know that why is Rishikesha is being called here, because he is the controller, he is the director of all the senses. Specifically in this case, he is controlling everything. So he is controlling the senses and the mind of Arjuna as well. So Arjuna is behaving because of this like that. Otherwise, somebody may ask, like, Lord is with him, Supreme Personality of Godhead is with Arjuna, why he is behaving like that? But the same Arjuna who is now behaving like this will fight so nicely, right? So why this shift? How this shift? Earlier, this, as of now we can see in the shloka number 25, and just after 2 shlokas he will surrender everything. He will say, no, I cannot fight, I'm just giving my Gandiva, I'm feeling weakness, I'm confused, and he will not be able to fight at all. He says that. Then he will surrender to Lord, and then he will, ask that what should I do? So to actually bring that situation, Lord is doing this. Because if we see, like, would Arjuna have been better off without going to the middle of the two armies? No. Because once he went into the middle of two armies, he will realize it now. Lord wanted Bhagavad Gita to be, spoken. So he needs something, right? Otherwise, Arjuna is actually the eternal associate of Lord in Goloka Vrindavan. But this is happening because Lord wanted to happen. Because he is actually just making an object of Arjuna, so that Arjuna went into the midst of two armies and he will see all these near and dear ones, and he will be feeling weakness, and then he will surrender. So, and then Lord will speak Bhagavad Gita. So then only Bhagavad Gita will start coming. So that's the reason Lord is creating this all. And you can see that initially this overall Bhagavad Gita took 45 minutes to speak of. Lord spoke about 45 minutes, and within 45 minutes he convinced Arjuna, and Arjuna was actually ready to fight and nashta moho. He said, my moho is nashta, and then I'm ready to fight, Lord. Whatever you say, I'll do that. So in these 45 minutes, it is just happening because to let us understand. Otherwise, there was no point that Arjuna could have been, in weakness, because he is the eternal associate of Lord, and he is being told in the previous shloka in 1.24 as a Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one who has win over the sleep, one who has win over the ignorance, one who has win over the darkness. So illusion. So when we say darkness, that means illusion. So illusion, because all in this material world we are all conditioned souls, and as soon as we comes into this material world, we are illusioned. So, but Arjuna is not like that. Arjuna is a eternal associate of Lord. Then he cannot. Somebody may ask, then how come he be in illusion? This is all because Rishikesha is present there, and he want Arjuna to be like that. He want Arjuna to behave like that. That's the reason Arjuna is behaving initially like that, and later on, so that Bhagavad Gita can come, and Bhagavad Gita, we are able to read Bhagavad Gita, and we are able to discuss Bhagavad Gita by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So that way, these are the reasons, and when this is the reason specifically the name of Bhishma and Drona came into this shloka, because he wants to initiate weakness in Arjuna. Because what is the weakest point? Lord knew. Lord knows it, right? Said he loves Drona and Bhishma very much, and they both also love Arjuna very much. So let's see what happened. What will happen when? So specifically, Lord is telling, and what he says, Lord said, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. And he is also little bit of sarcastically, he is actually asking Arjuna that, see, all are ready. They are standing in front of you to fight. They are not just standing here to play cricket or something, right? In the battlefield, when armies comes, so obviously they are coming for fighting only, right? So he is sarcastically using this word, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. Whom you want to see, all are there. And all are there means all are there to fight with you. They are not coming here just to see you, because you all are warriors, right? You are Kshatriyas. And when Kshatriyas comes in a battlefield, they are there to fight only. They are not there to play cricket or volleyball, right? So, and in the purport, we can see that Prabhupada is saying that now, what did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pratha, because the mind of Arjuna was just predicted by the Lord in friendly joking. So why he is joking? Because he knew that after a few seconds he is going to reject. He will surrender, that I am not going to fight. The will to fight will end here. So that is what he predicted. ओके तुम देखना चाहते हो तो देखो, किसको देखना चाहते हो, कितने सारे लोग हैं यहाँ पे, देखो किसको देखना चाहते हो, पर मुझे मालूम है कि तुम अभी क्या करने वाले हो, बिकॉज ही ओनली ही ओनली ऑर्केस्ट्रेट दैट, लॉर्ड इज ऑर्केस्ट्रेटेड एवरीथिंग. सो ही जस्ट वांटेड टू ensure that Arjuna will see, and then he will actually started asking that I'm feeling weakness and I don't want to fight, these are all my near and dear ones, how can I kill my guru, how can I kill my dear great grandfather, जिन्होंने मुझे गोद में खिलाया है, जिन्होंने मेरे को इतने अच्छे से शिक्षा दी है, मेरे को इतने युद्ध कौशल सिखाया है, जिनसे मैं सब कुछ सीखा हूँ. इट इज़ नॉट ईजी फॉर एनी वन एज ऑफ नाउ एज वेल. No, it's not at all possible, right? So same thing, Lord wanted to instigate that actually feeling of compassion, because he is a devotee, he is very compassionate already. Just Lord wanted that he should react that way, and then the Bhagavad Gita will be spoken. So any question as of now, till now?
I have one question.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Rishikesh knows everything, he is control of all the mind sense and things. Then there is other side of the Kuru also. They should also have the same, you will have the control over those people also. This doubt is always there for me.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
When Rishikesh Krishna is control of the sense, Rishikesh of Arjuna and all other things, he is only present everywhere.
Yes.
And the same Lord is already, it should be applicable there also. The Guru himself was standing in front of them to fight with them. So same thing applicable होना चाहिए ना उधर.
उधर भी applicable है. Like you want to say that why they were ready to fight or why they were not changed.
Yeah, exactly.
See, because it is we need a purity to reach there where we can hear the Paramatma sitting in our heart. If we are not pure from inside, we cannot hear the voice of Paramatma sitting in the heart. We cannot talk to him. So that is the reason all those were adharmis, right? They were not in the side of righteousness. They were all on the wrong side. So you cannot, or anybody cannot be on being on the wrong side. They will not be able to understand or hear or talk to Paramatma. We can see many criminals, right? The same questions applies to them as well. If Lord is sitting in the heart of every Paramatma, every each and every atom, then why crime is happening? So it is happening because they are so much conditioned now. They are all in the lot of tamoguna. So till the time anybody is in the control of three gunas, the three modes of nature, it is not possible for anyone to talk to Paramatma or to see Paramatma sitting in the heart. But as soon as gradually we purify ourselves, then we will reach from tamoguna to rajoguna, and then from rajoguna to satoguna, and then from satoguna to shuddha sattva. Once the person reaches to the satoguna, then he started the feeling of like how Paramatma is sitting, and he started getting guidance from within. No, you should not do it. Whenever somebody do wrong thing, some voice comes from within, you should not do it. Then still they do it. Then after some time that voice started, stop, okay, there is no need, let him do. Because Lord has also given liberty to everyone. So he will not come and hold your hand. You want to do crime, please do. So initially the Paramatma actually tried to stop from within. But it is us, soul, because as soon as we reaches from tamoguna to rajoguna to satoguna, then gradually the purification starts. And the method of purification in this Kali Yuga is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So like we can understand about this aspect of Rishikesha in other some other shlokas as well. Like how come is possible that Lord is present in the Goloka Vrindavan as well as in the each and every atom? Because that is the way he is Lord. He's not like normal. He's not like us. We are the part and parcel of that super soul. We are souls, and we are the part and parcel of that super soul. So qualitatively we are same, but quantitatively it is actually we cannot imagine that how small we are. We can't imagine it. So there is a shloka in very nice shloka. It is given in Brahma Samhita. It's 5.37. Anand Chinmay Rasa Pratibhav Bhase Anand Chinmay Rasa Pratibhavit Bhavitha Bhavitava Tabhes Tabhirya Eva Nij Rupatya Kalabhi Golok Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confident is Sakhis, embodiment is of the extension of her bodily form, permitted and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. So it is mentioned here, Golok eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto. So this line is, what is telling? Golok eva nivasati. That means he is residing in the Goloka. Nivasati means he is residing in the Goloka. Akhilatma bhuto. So who is the bhuta? Bhuta means soul. But he is present in Akhil Bhut. That means he is there. Akhilatma Bhuto. He is there in Golok Vrindavan as well, and there he is there in everybody, each and every atom. He is there with every soul as well. He's with every living entity. He is present there. So similarly, there is a shloka comes in Kathopanishad which says Nityo Nityanam Chetanash Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yodhati Kaman. It says, what does it mean? Nityo Nityanam. That means all those which are Nitya. That means what is Nitya? If we see around us, what is Nitya? Is this body is Nitya? Nitya means permanent. Is this body is permanent? Is there anything permanent in this material world? There is only one thing which is permanent, which is soul. So soul is permanent. Soul is Sanatan, eternal. Apart from that, everything is temporary. So what is that? Nityo Nityanam. That means everywhere all these souls are there. So but what is this? Why these souls are Nitya? Why is eternal? Because they are part and parcel of Nityanam. That means he is the Paramatma is actually the source of all these souls. We are the part and parcel of that super soul. That is how it is mentioned, Nityo Nityanam. Chetana Chetananam. Why there is Chetana? That means why there is you can see the soul is full of energy. You can see lot of things we are doing. It is only because of the energy of the soul. We are creating so big bridges, buildings, so many big stadiums. We are going to space. This is energy of soul only. It is not a body, right? Only because of the energy of soul. See, you can understand just this small, minuscule, part and parcel of Lord. This soul is so energy. So, what is the source of this energy? That is mentioned as Nityo Nityanam, Chetanash Chetananam. It is all Chetana, the all living force in all the living entities is only because of the super soul, जो सभी नित्यों में नित्य है और जो सभी चेतनाओं की चेतना का कारण है. नित्यो नित्यानाम चेतना चेतनानाम एको बहुनाम. And he is the one, eko bahunam. He is the one who is there everywhere. Eko bahunam. In each and every atom he is there. With each and every soul he is there. Eko bahunam. Yo vidhati kaman. And he is actually, what he is doing sitting there? He is taking note of what you are thinking, what you are doing, what all you have done in the past, what are you going to do now. So he knows everything, and the moment you desire anything, he notes it down. He desires this, so we have it has to be completed, it has to be fulfilled. So he is sitting there, yo vidhati kaman. So he is single, but he is actually fulfilling the desires of innumerable living entities. That's the reason it is mentioned, yo vidhati kaman. Nityo nityanam chetana chetananam eko bahunam yo vidhati kaman. He is such. That's the reason he is Krishna, he is God. So, although he sits there in the Golok Vrindavan, but he is there present in each and every atom, and he is there everywhere. He is omnipresent, and he is a personality as well. Sitting, he's as a personality, he's in Goloka Vrindavan as well, and as an energy, he's present everywhere. He's omnipresent and omniscience. So that's all from my side. Any question as of now? No question? Prabhuji asked nice question, so you can ask one more if you have.
The last chapter is really
Yeah, it's really. I also personally very much like this shloka to read again and again, because it gives the to about Lord, that how He's present everywhere simultaneously. He's in Golok and He's there everywhere.
Innocence stops. When you want to say something, when innocence stops also sometimes they don't do that. But we may not know that instead of those telling that to stop it. There are two conscious. One is upper conscious and conscious. Upper conscious is I want to say that I will do this. Inner conscious is not, it not know that.
That is a Paramatma.
Yeah. We get confused between that which one to decide. Sometimes we are helpless.
Yeah.
We raise a hand and pick up the
Sorry. So, no question. Any question? Yeah.
Same question, like every time you'll be having two voices inside. As you said, voice will come. So it is as only we desire to do something to sense gratification, and it is guilt will also come. So which voice should we prefer? Like what is how to decide it, whether it's a Paramatma voice or whether it's a.
So, when you knew right, initially we know that actually what is right. So if you know that what is right, that means it is actually direction given by the Lord. For that, it is required to be in the association of devotees always, to read Prabhupada's books, to read the scriptures, to chant nicely. So that all needs to be done nicely. Then only it will be easy for us to understand, gradually to uplift us from the three modes of nature. It may take this birth or it may take many births, but we should try hard, and we should try in the association of devotees that always we try to be always in the higher modes, because all the devotional services are under the mode of goodness, and these are actually beyond three modes of nature. Prabhupada says that devotional service is beyond three modes of nature. So if we keep doing the devotional service of the Lord, whether it's chanting is also devotional service, whether it's reading of scriptures, whether it's actually having prasadam or in the association of devotees. So these are all beyond three modes of nature. So if we gradually keep having the association of devotees and keep doing these four regulative principles, follow the four regulative principles and do these four things, then gradually we will be able to transform us into a kind of a spiritual entity who can talk, who can understand to Lord. It may take much time as well, person to person, but that is the only way. That is the only way. That is because in Kali Yuga, whether you do any kind of other different yoga or dhyan yoga or karma yoga, nothing is going to work. Only devotional service is the only way in this Kali Yuga. Thank you, Mataji. Anything else? Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.